As Todd mentioned at the beginning of the course, the product management lifecycle isn't new and isn't something that Pendo or Mind the Product invented. Product teams have been operating with versions of this lifecycle for years, and it continues to evolve with the discipline as a whole. But everyone's product management lifecycle is a little bit different, and our version is based on what we've seen work for over a decade of helping product teams build great products. It's a more data-driven version that empowers product managers to focus on business outcomes, not just shipping features. The lifecycle is also a great way to learn the foundations of product management. So let's dive in. At the highest level, the product management lifecycle is a framework for how great products are built and improved. I also like to think of it as a map to help product teams have a bigger impact on the business. To help paint a clearer picture, let's go over each phase of the lifecycle in more detail. The first phase, define a business outcome, is what I like to call phase 0. You have to start with a clear business objective so that you know what you're setting out to achieve. Doing so anchors efforts throughout the entire lifecycle to what's important to your overall company. In today's world, this connection to the business impact is absolutely critical. Meeting deadlines, releasing features, and increasing NPS are important, but they can't be your primary measure of success. Companies need products that push the business forward, so the stakes are quite high. And as more and more companies see the product organization as a strategic driver of business direction, they'll just keep getting higher. We'll go into this phase in more detail in the next lesson. Moving on to phase 1 is discover. Once you've identified the business outcome that you're looking to achieve, the next step is to understand the problems that are standing in the way of achieving it. You'll dig into important questions like, what's preventing customers from retaining at a higher rate? What's blocking adoption? What do users need in order to be more successful? In this first phase, you'll uncover and understand the pain points of both your customers and the larger market. Phase 2 is validate. Validation is the process of collecting data to help ensure you're headed towards the right solution for users. If you've done discovery well, you'll have a clear understanding of problems and potential solutions to these problems. In this phase, you'll work to validate your product ideas in order to determine the right solutions to move forward with. Phase 3 is build. After you've aligned on what to build, engineers get to work, but the work for product managers isn't over either. During the build phase, you'll partner closely with engineers and product designers to ensure your idea comes to life as you intended, or determine how to pivot if needed. This is also when you'll share and to an extent defend the product roadmap. Phase 4 is launch. Now it's time to get this new functionality out into the world and ensure customers adopt and continue using it. In this phase, you'll work closely with marketing, customer success, and sales to build a go-to-market plan that's scaled to the size and importance of the release. Phase 5 is evaluate. After you've launched a new product or feature, it's critical to evaluate its success using both quantitative and qualitative data. And phase 6 is iterate. Not long after you've started collecting and analyzing data, you'll move into iteration mode and determine how you can improve what you've built. And just like that, you've kicked off another rotation of the lifecycle as you move back into discovery. Now that we've gone over the product management lifecycle at a high level, I also want to call out that you won't always move seamlessly through the phases in a perfect order. You might also be in the middle of multiple life cycles at once, and you'll need to balance between being in discovery for one feature and iterating on another. And if you're new to your role as a product manager, don't worry about doing all of this perfectly. You'll have all these best practices in your back pocket as you get settled into and identify the product or product areas that you're responsible for and the problems that you're aiming to solve.